Oh, wow. Okay. Is this thing on? Well. So, what's up, everyone? Resident Absent Dad here, Leon Blep. I'm here to talk about my actually 4 month now absence from YouTube, as well as let you know what's going to be happening on my channel moving forward. If you're just interested in the what's going to be happening part, feel free to just read the description, which should have all the information that you need, or you can skip to this time here. I'll leave a timestamp in the description as well. No hard feelings, of course. You obviously don't have to watch this. But yeah, yeah, I just want to explain myself, I guess. So, it's been a really long time, obviously, and before I continued making content, I really wanted to just express my thanks and gratitude to everybody who has been showing up for me on my little YouTube channel here. So yeah, because it's been like a really long time, and I actually started writing this kind of concept thing a month ago, and had ideas for it even a little bit sooner than then, because yeah. Have you ever I'll get into it, but I started playing a new game and it kind of took over my life a little bit. Sorry, my eyebrows are really expressive, and somehow I'm getting this middle tooth thing going on here, but we're just gonna have to roll with it, okay? Like it'll be fine. So, yeah, basically, so as I was saying, I wrote this a month ago, so some of this is a little outdated or whatever, but I'll just try and fill in what's necessary, or adjust stuff in a way that makes sense. So yeah, I just wanted to reiterate, thank you again so much. I'm really surprised and very pleased that this many people are interested in my content, I guess. Because I'm literally just trying to have fun online. It's been a really long time since I had fun online, and I just kind of am really enjoying, or I was really enjoying, and I hope to enjoy again, the kind of fun that I was having a few months ago. So again, thank you so much. I do want to continue. I do have new Morrowind and some other game stuff that's coming up soon. So thank you so much for being a believer, and thanks for sharing your time with me. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a little bit of the story now. So I wish you could see my hands because I'm just holding my face. But so basically, if you've been following my channel, you'll have noticed that the last few videos I made were based on the then new and now kind of, established mobile game, The Sum. I feel like I felt really connected to that community through the message boards at the beginning, and also through the comments of some of my videos and stuff. I was like, oh yeah, cool. This is a bunch of sort of similarly minded individuals who seem to be really sweet and kind, and they're also good at constructive criticism and stuff. So I wonder what other games they're into, right? So naively, I went around the boards looking for information about what other titles this community was playing, what other games. I have the note that I made here, so I'll just put it up beside me. Ignore my messy handwriting. It's not always like that. It's just kind of like that when I'm writing feverishly. But anyway, so you'll see that it says for future content right here. So yeah, no spoilers, obviously, but anyway, quickly, I just want to so quickly, Morrowind is my number one favorite game, okay? It's my sweet little babe. It's my honest to goodness favorite game ever. It always has been since the moment that I first started playing it. But if I were to make strictly and solely Morrowind videos, my brain would turn into like absolute mush. Because not only have I been playing it for like 20 years, not actually, but like close to 20 years, like I like there's only so much that can be done, you know what I mean? Like everybody, it's because it's such an old game or whatever, like, and because it is such a great game, there's already like a lot of stuff, right? So like basically after the skill book series, all I can really do besides like really try to like squeeze out my brain juice for like meme videos is like the let's play, right? Which I really want to continue doing because I've watched let's plays for so long, and I just want to have my own complete little package series, you know? But anyway, of course, so like if I were to only make Morrowind videos, it would you tenderize my brain, you know? Like I don't want my brain to smooth out. I want it to have lots of nice little like folds and stuff. So I've always tried to sprinkle in other like one-off videos of like some of my other favorite games like here and there, like for my own mental health. And I have like a really long list, like I'm looking at it right now and it's kind of intimidating, but like I have a really long list of like the games that I love, right? Like, but I realized that not everyone is an early PlayStation 2 video game enthusiast. So I wanted to get a sense of like what this like cool, fun new group of people were playing, right? So I guess let's just go down the list here. So we got Minecraft. This is a game that I love to play, and I've been watching it grow for years and years. But it's a game where I would certainly not be able to represent my playstyle like in a way that is educational or entertaining or cool. I'm a really slow Minecraft player. And like every time I build a farm or something, it's like ripped straight from the other good farmers of the world, like the people who are involved in like technical Minecraft and stuff. So like I'm not like an engineer, you know what I mean? Like I'm not like a buildy kind of person. I mean, in a way, like for aesthetics, like if I have like a lot of time, like I said, but I really don't think that like I would be able to contribute anything like new or interesting like to that. Also, it's like there's more than enough, you know what I mean? Like there's more than enough of that. And like I don't know how confident I feel like representing that game when I took, you know, like a huge break from it and didn't return back to that game until like the wonderful year of 2020 where I magically just had more time, you know, like anyway, so let's just keep moving on, you know. The next game on the list here is Stardew Valley. So here's another example of a game that I probably never make content about, at least not like YouTube content. Stardew Valley feels more of like a streaming game to me, where like you kind of like, I don't know how to make this distinction fully because like I haven't really like thought or written about something like this, but like in my brain there's like this like distinction, I wish you could see my hands, between like YouTube like created edited content style games, which like Minecraft works really well for both of these, right? So this is a bad example, but like, and Morrowind I think also works really well for both. But Stardew Valley is the kind of game where like, one, it's been out long enough that all of the educational content that has been released is like kind of already out there, right? And then in addition to that, like when you stream it, it becomes more of a collective endeavor. Like, you know, like the streamer in chat kind of participate in like decision making. I mean, this is like just pretend speedrunning doesn't exist for a second. But to me personally, in the way that I play games, I think that it would be more fun to like stream a game like Stardew Valley, because there's so many like little things that like okay, I got it. I worked it out. It takes so long, right? Like, you can't really clip or speed up a lot of Stardew Valley because, like, or games like Stardew Valley. So I'm thinking, like, My Time at Portia is also on this list. That's kind of like the same thing. Like, those are games where like every kind of decision that you're making, like maybe you would want to explain or something. So like if I were to make like edited content on stuff like that, like it would be way too much like raw like footage to work with or whatever. I don't know. That could be totally wrong. I mean, I'm at this point I'm just like waffling off right here. Like I don't really know why I get like stream vibes from it, but I do. So yeah, let's just we'll just keep moving on. So Persona 5, I think that's like another game that would be more fun to stream just because there's like so many decisions, you know what I mean? I think in a game where there's so many decisions that are made that are kind of like in the moment, especially like dialogue choices, I think that's more fun to play collectively, like as a group, as opposed to like, this is what I said, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, but I didn't play like the vanilla version of Persona 5, but I did play Royal, and also that's like a really long game. Probably not on like the second playthrough or whatever, but my first playthrough, like trying to do kind of everything, I think it took me like 198 hours or something, I don't know, like I'll check on the footage or whatever, but anyway, yeah, it's just like, that's just, it's like, you can't make content about Persona 5. It's been out for a million years. So like moving on, like, I'm just gonna skip this one. This is a point of contention, so we'll just move on. Tears of Themis. So maybe this is a little foreshadowing, and maybe by now you're gonna figure out like what's going on here. I don't think this is something you stream. I don't think this is something you really make content of, unless you're just simply just like uploading like the stories or like the limited time events or something so that people can watch them forever. And I assume people already do that. And also that's not really what I want to do. I kind of want to be like goofy and like talk over stuff. So I don't think that like otome games are really like good for like my whole thing. It's like not really what I'm trying to do, right? But again, I've already like played it. Okay. So the point of this list for real, sorry, I'm kind of like going off script because like I did write this a month ago and like a lot of things have changed. So I'm just kind of like using it as notes now. So sorry if I'm like a little bit disconnected when it comes to like ideas and stuff. I promise this is all going to make sense very soon, and thank you so much for your patience. Like, all right, going through the list. Tears of Themis, already played it. Not something I want to make content on. Long story short. Let's skip this one for now. Skyrim, the son of my dearest Morrowind, which I will not touch until finishing all of the content that I have planned and dreamed for Morrowind. And so yeah, that's basically that on Skyrim. I'm not playing it yet. Plus, it would probably break my laptop, and I'd probably have to play it on the PlayStation. And meh. I like saving the PlayStation as like my like recreational gaming device, and using the laptop as like my like, you know, like kind of like, you know, be creative, kind of like think about stuff in a different way, recording. Plus it's like, I guess it's maybe a slightly better piece of equipment than the PlayStation. I'm not sure. Anyway. So Skyrim, yeah, I mean, I already have Morrowind stuff to do. It'd be basically making content about the same game. I am really excited to try Skyrim for the first time with an audience. Because, like, Yeah, I just want to say, like, real quick, why doesn't VC Face understand what my laugh is? Why does it make me look so weird? Anyway, I don't really care. I turned on the, like, extra expressions thing so that I could try and, like, be a little more sincere while talking, but whatever. I guess the most of my emotion comes through my hand gestures. Maybe I can jokingly edit some in or something. Yeah, so then here at the bottom of the list, sorry, we have Grand Theft Auto 5, which I don't know. The last GTA game that I played, I think, was Vice City, and it's just not, it's not, it's not for me. It's not my favorite. It's like, I don't know, it's too, like, real. Does that make sense? It's, like, way too, like, real. I don't, like, really, like, I like some games that, like, like, kind of, like, ride the line of, like, reality and fantasy and stuff. Like, for example, like, I think, like, Parasite Eve is a good example of a game that, like, rides the line of, reality and fantasy, okay? Like, or, like, what else is here? Like, on the Disco Elysium, for example, is a game that really rides that line of, like, reality and fantasy or whatever. It could actually just be, like, full. Well, no, it's not. No, it's not. Remembering the ending, it is not. It's fantasy, right? Like, and I guess that's kind of like when the game, it takes a long time for the game to establish itself as fantasy, which I also think is, like, really cool. Like, anyway, so I like when games are realistic, but I don't like when they're, like, actual real. And GTA is just, like, a real game. It's just, like, all that stuff, well, within reason, could, like, actually happen. So anyway, there's plenty of people who are out there role playing GTA 5 and whatnot. That is just, it's just not my vibe. It's not my thing. So, you might, like, kind of be a little understanding of what's going on at this point. So, yeah, we skipped over this title for a reason. So, good old Genshin Impact. Now, I hadn't played Genshin until August 28th, 2022. It's a date I'll probably remember for the rest of my life. You'll notice this is kind of around a week, about the same time that I stopped posting. So you would be right to assume that these two things are connected in some way. Now, let me preface this by saying all I knew about Genshin prior to playing was that I was very annoyed by the commercials that played, like, constantly in 2020, and the fan art that occasionally showed up on my, like, alt Twitter, and, the kind of sort of controversy about, like, some of the playable characters, okay? There's, like, a controversy in two specific directions that I can think of. So, of course, I didn't, because it had, like, all this stuff, like, annoying commercials, like, I liked the fan art that I saw, but, like, also the controversy, like, I didn't really think to give it, like, a chance, you know what I mean? But because I really thought that the Sum community was really cool, and I really kind of, like, trusted, their judgment, and, like, I saw that there's so much stuff about Genshin on the Sum message boards. So, like, okay, it, like, like, it suddenly occurred to me, right, that, like, maybe a new game to play recreationally would, like, help me level out the feelings that I've been having about the games that I was playing, like, creatively, and I was starting to feel like a little stale, drawn out. I don't know. It was like that, like, like late summer kind of, like, mood. I don't know. I was feeling weird. So, I took it upon myself to take the advice about, the only game on this list that I hadn't played that I felt like maybe I should give a chance. And So I downloaded the gigantic file onto my PS4 and I started up a fresh and free game of Genshin Impact. And as many of my IRL friends have joked, it certainly impacted my life immediately. This I read this part kind of like a commercial. It's kind of dorky, but okay. So I'll try and read it like a dorky commercial too. Okay. An open world RPG thick with lore and adventuring potential, a reward system, completion percentages, a bit of fair gotcha, all for free. It was a perfect storm of things that were just waiting to break my brain once I found them. So, like, basically what we're gonna ramble off about today is about games that break your brain. This is not the first time that my brain has been broken by a video game, and I'll explain that in a moment, but like many of the games on this list have broken my brain. You know what I mean? Like P5R, like I mentioned earlier, that broke my brain. I was glued for that first 200 hours, like almost straight when I first played it, like in 2020. 2020 Isolation and Minecraft as well, they went comfortably hand in hand as well. Like I kind of like brought that up earlier. Like, these are more recent examples, right? But I never experienced that kind of like brain breaking thing prior to playing Morrowind. You know what I mean? Like, Morrowind is like the ultimate first game that ever broke my brain. Like, it just like, it took it out of my skull and threw it onto the pavement like cheese. You know what I mean? Like, I had like favorite games like prior to Morrowind. Like, there's a few games that I had played that, like, I really loved and I enjoyed playing them, but there's not really, like, you know, I could put those games down. Like, I could play those games for, like, a few quests or something, or, like, a few hours or whatever, and then I could, like, put it down and, like, have a life, you know, outside of the game. And Morrowind is not like that. So let me like try and clarify for you like what I mean by brain breaking. Okay, so brain breaking is for me the feeling of like when you pick up a game and you're like immediately like you're immediately convinced that you have to learn like every little thing about it. You have to explore every single corner. You have to immerse yourself like completely in the land and the lore and the characters. Figure out all the math behind the game, the battle mechanics, you know what I mean? Like, and all that shit. All that. So, like, luckily for me, like, after Morrowind, like, lots of games have come along that have broken my brain similarly, you know what I mean? And they all usually follow, like, the general, like, Morrowind example. So, like, you know, like, features, like, an open world, like, a ton of quests and side quests, like choice in when and how you advance the story, in-game books, other life simulated things like savants, libraries, crafting, you know, stuff like that. But like, okay, like hopefully you understand what I mean by that, and if you know you need a little more clarification, like I'd be happy to discuss that with you in the comments section. But also, I want, if you're watching this and you've left a comment and I haven't responded, I'm really sorry. I have a lot of comments that I have to respond to right now, and I'm gonna absolutely try and respond to each and every one. You know that I love responding to your comments. It's just that I didn't turn my computer on for like 3 months. So anyway, I will get to you. I promise. Mwah. Thanks. But okay. So this time, okay, let's get just. I want to keep going here. I'm almost at the finish line. So, like, I just want to say that like the brain breaking that happened to me like this time, it was different. Like, it was a whole other world of brain breaking. Like, I think I'm out of the clouds now that I've, like, fully caught up in the game. And I've, like, 100% explored every available region. Also, I know that doesn't mean fully 100%. I know it's a soft count. Please don't. I already know I am working on, like, a few more chests in, like, every area. I'm missing, like, 3 chests in Mondstadt, blah, blah, blah. but whatever. I'm like actually ashamed to admit that I have spent all of my free time over the past 4 months now playing Genshin. And it's really funny because I wrote that I'm out of the clouds now a month ago, and I've still been playing it like obsessively. Like I woke up today and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be different. Things are gonna be different today. You know? Like I feel like today I can change. Anyway, so I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed that I've spent that much time playing Genshin. My PS4 yearly review was embarrassing. But anyway, this isn't a video about Genshin, okay? So don't worry about that. I wanted to get that off my chest. I don't really want to talk a lot about Genshin Impact because, you know, I'm like, I'll discuss lore with people, but like, I don't want to talk about like, you know, like party lineups or like any of that. You know what I mean? Like whatever. I'll just get into it later. But like already I'm like, I don't want to talk about Genshin, and then it's like really easy for me to just start talking about it. But you know, if you guys know any like support groups or anything that I can join, just like let me know in the comments, because I think I could benefit from like a group therapy at this point. But anyway, what I really want to do is I want to think and talk just a little bit more about the concept of like brain breaking games and what this does to me as a gamer overall, because this impacts the content that I make, you know, in general. Like when I find a game that I really like, okay, I have a lot of trouble playing other games. Like in fact, I kind of have a bit of trouble playing more than like 2 to 3 games at a time, which is something that I learned when I like dove into mobile game addiction over the past like couple of years, when I was like actively trying to balance like playing games for content and then like 6 mobile games concurrently, and that was no, it didn't work out. And no, I don't take very good care of myself. I'm fully self-aware of that. I just really like games in general. I don't care how bad they are. Like I want to give every game that's like within my genres like the respect it deserves and give it a shot, play it, you know what I mean? But like, you know, like none of those, well, no, not really. None of those games really like broke my brain, you know what I mean? Like I could put all those mobile games down easy, like, but like when a game like, you know, Genshin comes along, or Morrowind, you know, I tend to lose focus on like everything else that I'm doing, all the other games that I'm playing, like everything, you know? Like I just become consumed by it, and rather it's not like that makes it seem like it's a passive thing that's like happening to me, but I think I should rephrase it and say like I do that to myself. Like I'm the one who like I drown myself in the new game, right, that I really like. So like, you know, it's just like it's hard. It's hard for me to both balance, you know, like playing games and recording myself playing games, as well as like really deeply enjoying and like experiencing a game, especially for the first time or whatever, like on my own, and like, because I'm like a personal kind of private person or whatever by nature when it comes to like stuff. I don't know, like, I don't know, isn't everyone kinda? Maybe not, but like I'm kind of like a personal and kind of private person. I don't really like to share everything, you know. Obviously, because like look at me right now, you know what I'm saying? So like anyway, I just let me try and get to the conclusion so that I can start recording my Morrowind Let's Play, okay? So, okay, I'm gonna get there. So like I just said, I mean, now I'm going back on this script that I wrote a month ago, and just you know what I'm saying? So, I do fully intend to continue all of my Morrowind videos that I have planned and my Let's Plays, because Morrowind is my first and last. It is my alpha and omega, It is the ultimate brain-breaking game for my youth, and this whole channel is basically a love letter to like my inner child. However, I also want to continue to explore both older and newer games and eventually try streaming some, you know, like if my very limited setup will allow it, you know? So I am as well interested in continuing to seek out a community of people who have interests that overlap with mine. But in order to do that, I have to be present. I cannot literally hide from my laptop for 3 months straight, which is exactly what I did. It was an absolute nightmare to go through like updating every single thing all at once. But anyway, that's besides the point. So anyway, I really want to like finish this up. I don't want this to be too long. I don't want to ramble too much, and I don't want to risk talking about this game that I've been playing. And I feel like the longer I talk, the higher that risk becomes. So I wanted to ask you guys, you know, the believers, the people who stuck with me through all of my absence, like what games have broken your brains in the past? Whether it's like the first one or like what games have been breaking your brains lately. Like, I'm just curious, you know what I mean? Not because I'm gonna, like, go through and, like, I just want to know, like, what other people's experiences are with, like, getting, like, highly, quickly addicted to, like, video games is, like, you know what I mean? Because, like, I know that it happens to me and I feel it, like, so intensely. But I wonder sometimes about how other people experience this kind of thing, you know? So I guess I'll give you like some more personal information. Like in this past year, there's like 2 games that really like broke my brain in half, you know? Like when I first heard about Against the Storm and then I first started playing it, it was like the only game that I wanted to play. I was like obsessed. You know what I mean? Like I think Against the Storm is like probably the best game that came out in 2022, but then again, I really haven't played a lot of them. Like I didn't play Stray yet or anything, you know, so like I don't really know if it was the best game that came out. But that game like screwed me up for real. But you know, and then the other game that I mentioned earlier also, like, screwed me up. So, you know, like, I don't always, like, play games the year that they come out, whether it's because, like, my computer can't handle it or, like, maybe, like, I'm behind in consoles or something, you know, because I've only just recently had time to game again. Like, I was working a lot prior to the thing that happened, so like I am kind of behind, you know what I mean? Like I'm pretty behind. A lot of the mobile games that I started playing, those are all like relatively old, like people who weren't working full time for the past like 12 years probably like have already played a bunch of the games that were like new to me like over the past year, 2 years and stuff. So like yeah, so it doesn't have to be like a modern game is what I'm saying. Like, you know, like if you just like you could refer to like the first game, you know, that like you got really obsessed with or something. I'm just curious. Like, you know, like but I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to like also like you know that feeling, maybe you don't, maybe you do, but do you know that feeling like you skipped so much class that you're just like ashamed to go back? That's kind of like how I was feeling and how I'm still kind of feeling like at the moment. Like I'm not, please, you don't have to respond to that point. Like I'm just trying to be like completely honest here and like that's kind of like why it took so long for me to like return, you know what I mean? Because not only was I playing a game that like does have like a little bit of like controversy around it, you know, and like I have my own thoughts on that. I do not really want to talk about it, but you know, because I think it's a really good game. And I genuinely, like, I see some stuff that's kind of like meh, but like I think it's great personally. And I think it's only going to get better because people, constantly get to respond to surveys and whatnot. And again, like I said, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it. But like, because it was a game that I was like kind of ashamed of. You know what I mean? Like, and because my absence just like day by day by day, it just grew so much longer. It was just like being back in high school and shit, and like skipping school for like too many days in a row, you know what I mean? And then being like, well, now I'm kind of like embarrassed. Like now I like kind of like don't want to show up at all. You know what I mean? Like maybe not, but maybe college is more relatable for some people. Like also, yeah, there were some weeks that I just took off in college because like I'm just like not, you know. I get like a little like nervous, especially like the less I do something, like the less I feel comfortable doing it. So that's another thing, right? The more I do something, the more comfortable I feel doing it. And you see this kind of like snake eating its own tail type thing that's happening here. But yeah, anyway, long story short, I would like to return. Thank you so much for... this was supposed to be a 500 subscriber special. This is now a 575 subscriber special. 575 subscriber special. So thank you very much for that. Like, please let me know like what games have absolutely like demolished you in the past. I think it's really cool for us, and I think it would be really helpful for my brain to like explore all of the different mechanics and features of these games, what makes them similar, what makes them stand out in a literal sea of games, as we're truly living like in an era where anyone can make a game, like that's kind of where I've been at. Just I want to reopen lines of communication and discussion. I want to talk about some things that have been interesting to me. Sorry for being such a dork. I definitely intend to try and keep making people laugh or, mauled, depending on your sense of humor and what your opinions might be. And I would like to continue to find like-minded individuals that I can vibe with in this electronic ocean that we call the internet. So, again, thank you so much for sticking by me through all this, and I'm really shocked that over 500 people are willing to like check in and see what I have to offer here. I really appreciate you, and I'm working on responding to everyone's comments slowly. I'm so sorry. I really hope that you're enjoying the new year now, because it says end of the year in my script, and that is just foolish. And okay, I mean it this time. Okay. I'll see you soon. Bye.